Hi there, it's Lachlan Callish here, and we're going to have a look in this video at retrieving recordings made in Zoom meetings, either cloud-based recordings, how we get hold of those, and local recordings or downloading to your computer directly. So this is based on the assumption that you've already made a recording one way or the other in Zoom. We're now going to look at how we get a hold of those. So firstly, if we look at cloud-based recordings, so when you're in your Zoom meetings, you would have chosen during the meeting itself to record to the cloud, or you may have set up the meeting to automatically record to the cloud. Either way, the end result is you finish the recording, you've stopped it manually, or you've finished the meeting, and what you're waiting for at that point is an email notification. So I've got one here, drag it over. Right, so I've got an email to my account, which is my host account in Zoom. It's come through. It said the recording's available. Keep in mind, as we've mentioned elsewhere, the recordings on our account, the cloud-based recordings, do get deleted after a year, and that you'll get a notification 21 days prior to it being deleted saying that it's going to be removed. So that's one of the considerations for using cloud-based recordings, is that they're only valid for a year. Then we get two links underneath. I wouldn't bother too much, to be honest, about this first host-only link. It's not particularly useful. What I am interested in is this link underneath for viewers, which is, I'm just going to copy that link. And straight away, if I was to paste that link into a web browser, so I'll do that here. If I was to paste that link, it would open up the recording for me directly inside the browser window. So this tells me the files were saved on the CSU Zoom account, and I've got the media player in the window that I can then hit play and start playing that recording. I get the transcript down on the right hand side if you've got transcripts on. So there's our cloud-based recording, what it's going to look like if someone clicks on the link, however you provide that link. Okay, it's there and available. We will come back to this, that up in the top right hand corner of your cloud-based recordings, you've also got the option, as do your students, of downloading that file locally. So you can still make a local file recording after you've made a cloud-based recording, but the opposite is not true. You can't make a local version of a recording first and then try and make it cloud-based in Zoom. That doesn't happen. So cloud-based first, then local afterwards is one way of going. So we've got our link, we've got our notification email, we've been able to open that link. That's one way of getting our recording. Another way of getting our cloud-based recording after the fact is we can jump into the CSU Zoom portal, charleston.zoom.us, sign in. Over on the left you'll have your recordings tab. And you'll see that it actually provides a list sorted by date, usually most recent, and those will be listed down the page. So at the top there's my recording. As part of this recording, over here it talks about 3 files, and if I go into that, click on the link, it will bring up, sorry this is a little bit slow this morning, the 3 files themselves that we're talking about. One is the video file, which is my shared screen and the speaker view, so I may or may not have had my webcam on. The audio file, if I just wanted the audio file, you'll notice over on the right hand side I can download them, I can get the link to each of those files, or I can delete them. And lastly, because I've got transcripts turned on, I can get hold of the transcript file as well, download a link to it or delete it. So above them I've got a preview window which I could click on to watch the video. I can rename it from here if I wanted to. I could download all 3 files at once and they'd go into my downloads folder on my browser, or I can get the link which will take me to that cloud-based recording. It's the same link that we opened up previously. So you can use the recordings tab in the back end of Zoom, the Charleston Zoom portal, to access your local recordings. You can come back and go looking for them, and you can find them in here. If we go back to that My Recordings top level, it does have some filters that you can apply if you want to search, perhaps by titles or by dates, etc. You can go through your collection of cloud-based recordings in Zoom and try and find them that way. I'll come back to this afterwards and look at local recordings, but firstly we're just looking at cloud-based recordings. The last way that I want to show you can access cloud-based recordings is for those people that have used the Zoom LTI, the Zoom tool for Blackboard, which is in all subject sites now. Over in your navigation bar on the left-hand side, there's a Zoom LTI button. I'm going to click on that. So this is the subject level use of Zoom, where people have set up meetings inside this tool. They've used create or schedule a new meeting in here. They've run those meetings. The meetings have been recorded. Afterwards, the recordings are automatically provisioned to students using this excuse me, cloud-based recordings tab. They're then visible automatically to students. You'll see those same 3 files are over here on the right. If we click on it, I can see that the video, the audio, and the transcript file are all available here for, that's actually a chat pod file, not the transcript, all available here for students to view or download. So that's the third way of getting access to cloud-based recordings. It can happen automatically if you've used the Zoom LTI tool. Keeping in mind the only way to get back from this tool, it's a bit tricky to navigate, is to use the breadcrumbs here at the top. Click on the subject code, and that will bring up the home page again. So you might need to jump back in there if you needed to. So that was how we access our cloud-based recordings. Next, we're going to have a look at local recordings. So this is for people that have chosen either initially to record on this computer, and it will download the video file to a very specific location. So this is what I want to mention, is that the default location, if you've chosen to record to the computer, is always going to be inside your Documents folder, and the subfolder will be Zoom. So I'm going to open up on my computer, for example. Let's bring up Documents folder. Inside the Documents folder we've got Zoom. And then you'll see every recording backed up essentially inside here. And then you can go into each of those folders to get hold of the video files. Okay, if you've made a local recording, this is where you will find it. If, however, you've gone to your cloud-based recording, this is what I was saying before. I've watched my cloud-based recording. Up in the top right-hand corner, there is the option to download. If I click on that, you'll see straight away what it's doing is opening inside my browser. I'm using Google Chrome, and it's downloading each of those files, the MP4 video file, the M4A audio file, and the transcript file. And we'll see if I actually click on Show in Folder, those files have gone into my Downloads folder. Okay, so that's the difference. If you've chosen to download locally from the get-go, initially record on this computer, it'll go into your Documents Zoom folder. That's the default folder, and you'll need to move the file from there if you want to save it on a separate folder somewhere, or on a USB stick or whatever. You're going to need to go looking for it inside Documents Zoom. If you've made a local copy of your cloud-based recording, it's going to be in your Downloads folder because it's opened inside the browser. And lastly, the thing to consider is that the file formats we're talking about for video is MP4, for audio is M4A. So if you've made a local recording, those are the formats that you're going to get at the end of it. Maybe you're going to put those into YouTube or some other platform, but those are the formats that we're dealing with. So we've been talking about accessing recordings from Zoom meetings, and this follows on the back of you making a decision to either make a cloud-based recording or a local recording to your computer. I hope that's helpful. Thank you.